who they need to get going here, Carroll. Rangel works back on Bukata. Bounces around and out.
Good rebound by Ravizzi there. Saw her do that a couple times on Wednesday.
Steamer sets the screen for Bukata and rolls to the basket and scores.
Elmhurst going very quick. Already 16 points in this one. That's what they want to do, and then get in their defense.
Carroll responds with pace of their own. Katie Barger with her second make. Blue Jays have made their last 4 shots from the floor. Make it 5. Steamer from Gibson.
And that was really all Gibson right there. Easily broke the press, brought it all the way into the paint, and an easy pass to find Steamer.
Barger's off to a great start. That's her third make. 5:37 to go here in this first quarter.
Both these teams going very quick. Carroll's starting to heat up a little bit, but Elmhurst 5 of their last 5 on the offensive side.
Blue Jays team, which 30% of their possessions are on fast break opportunities. Novak slashes. How about that defensive play from Emily Wisner?
And Carroll's been in need of some defense. Let Elmhurst just do whatever they want on the offensive side to start. Elmhurst 7 of 10, 70% shooting so far. Carroll finally getting a stop.
Paint touch inside for Gracious. Underneath of Steamer and banks it in for 2.
And that's going to be a matchup Sierra Steamer is going to have to work hard on. Gracious, second in the conference in scoring with 18.4. She's a pretty good percentage as well, over 50% in conference games.
First team all-conference last season. Novak, too short on an open triple. Halverson fouled. This is a series that Carroll has played very well in. The Blue Jays have not beaten the Pios since February 2021. And it's really been a series that's been two-sided. You look back to 2017 to 2020, Elmhurst was 8-0 in those games. Since then, they are 2-9. Loker. Off the backboard and out, Gibson clears.
And Elmhurst had a chance in their last meeting. You mentioned it earlier. Lost on a last shot as there's Gibson just missing.
But Steamer cleaning up her own miss and getting to the line. With 4:20 to go here in this first quarter.
Just great instincts to get up for that from Steamer. Just grabbing those offensive rebounds, doing whatever she can to help her team. Elmhurst knows they need a win tonight to guarantee a spot in the playoffs. You don't want to leave it up to other results.
Steamer has been a freak on the boards this season. Coming over from Antelope Valley, has tied or led Elmhurst in rebounds 13 times. And still has another year eligibility next year. And Blue Jays by 10.
And she's one of the best in the conference as well, rebounding the ball in conference games. 3rd in rebounds in all conference. Great rebounder on the offense and defensive side of the ball.
Rangel here in the near elbow. Dribbles low to the free throw line. Extra pass to Loker. Offensive rebound, Rangel. One of the conference's best at getting buckets. 3-time first-team All-CCIW in her first 3 seasons. There's someone who's probably going to be first-team CCIW sometime soon.
Yeah, Christian Bucado, one player of the week as well in the previous week. Has played very well down the stretch, leading to this Elmhurst run to get into the playoffs.
Natalie Polskill will head to the line. Bucado only a sophomore, but someone who is so devoted to improving her game. When I talked to Cameron Zucker on Wednesday, he was telling me that she's always watching film. She had a game last week where she really clinched that CCIW Player of the Week honors. 22 points in an upset win over North Park. Big win on the road on a Saturday. It's 11:30 at night, and Coach is telling me, hey, she's texting me because the film was locked. So she was trying to watch film near midnight on Saturday to try and improve her game and get ready for 2 tough games this week.
Yeah, we see it in the way she plays as well. I mean, you see that brace on her left ankle. We've seen her dive across the floor, get stitches in her mouth in certain games. She's just the absolute engine, played all 40 minutes on Wednesday too. Just an absolute gamer from the sophomore.
She cues up Novak. Another triple from the senior.
Elmhurst is going to need Lindsay Novak here this afternoon, and she's already provided some great offense.
Blue Jays 3 threes in this opening quarter. Offensive foul. Charge taken by that girl again, Lindsay Novak.
And she's having some sort of first quarter performance. It's the senior on senior night.
Someone who's just been a nightmare for Carroll over these last couple of seasons. Coach Tucker told me she really helped spread the floor out last time these two met. Game that was so back and forth. Elmhurst had the lead in the fourth quarter and lost by 2, 73-71. 2:40 to go here in this opening frame. DeLippe bounces. Travel taken by Revesi. That was her first touch, Revesi, coming off the bench. Spot player for this team, mostly appears in blowouts, but getting some early run time here with the Blue Jays ahead by 12.
And she played pretty well on Wednesday in that role position, just on the defensive side, mainly put up a good effort against Carthage, obviously earning some more minutes here today.
Gracious with her second bucket. Gibson attacks. Too strong. DeLippe an offensive rebound. We've seen that plenty this week. Novak bounces around and out. DeLippe, 8 offensive rebounds on Wednesday in that win over Carthage. Taken away by Gibson. Bukata running to her right. Feeds Bukata.
Those two are just so much fun to watch, especially on the fast break. But you mentioned DeLippe as well. Came in off the bench with Steamer in a little bit of foul trouble. Great on the offensive and defensive glass in that one, getting another rebound right there.
Gracious can't connect. Elmhurst with its largest lead of the game. Novak again. Scrum for the rebound, and Bukata is decked. That'll be Carroll's 4th foul of this first quarter.
But there's the engine right there from Bukata, just getting involved in any place she can, drawing that foul on the rebound. She's always everywhere at once, it seems, on both sides of the ball.
She hasn't checked out of a basketball game in over a week. Steamer. Bench wanted a foul and instead gets the travel.
Yeah, that was close, but ended up getting the foul off Steamer. But we've seen this pick and roll, pick and pop a lot so far in this first quarter from Elmhurst.
Zigzag from Housekill up the court. Barger sets up Gracious, and she will head to the line for 3.
Yeah, that's Steamer's second personal foul as well. That's just a foul you can't do from the 3-point line.
It's where she ran into trouble on Wednesday. Only was able to play 15 minutes against Carthage. Picked up 4 personal fouls, and DeLippe, who's just come back in, is probably going to have to play a good amount of the next quarter. First one is in from Gracious.
And DeLippe already 2 rebounds in this one. Played a great role on Wednesday. We've talked about it a little bit already. But she's a good bench role player for this team. When called upon, she's ready.
Four points, 12 rebounds, which was a career high back on Wednesday. In an upset win over the Firebirds. Good start for Natalie Gracious. She had 20 points and a joint season-high 13 rebounds the last time these two met. Make it all 3 from the line. Under a minute to go in this first quarter. Elmhurst can go 2 for 1 if they play it right. What a pass from Bucata. MC Brown with her first points on senior day.
What a cut from Brown, too. Was in the corner, saw the opening on the baseline, cut right away. And great find, like you said, from Bucata.
29 points in 10 minutes for this Blue Jays team. Moving screen taken by Carroll.
That's Carroll's 7th turnover in this first quarter. Elmhurst have capitalized so far with 9 points off turnovers as well. Doing a great job so far are the Blue Jays on senior night when they know they need a win.
This is a Carroll team that's second best in this conference in turnovers per game. They've committed nearly half of their season average in just 1 quarter. Blue Jays have its largest lead of the contest and an opportunity to build on it as we head into the end of the first. Swatted out of bounds by Wisner. You think there's some frustration in this?
Absolutely. Coming in, trying to upset, or I shouldn't say upset, but ruin a senior night. I mean, that gives the away team a little bit of motivation, but I mean, this Carroll team doesn't have that much to play for the rest of the year.
Hardy off to close up the first quarter. But what a first quarter it was from Elmhurst. They shoot 11 of 21 in the opening frame and lead by 11.
Yeah, Lindsay Novak doing a great job. 2 for 5 from the three-point line, 2 for 7 from the field. Christian Bucata, 3 assists already with the 7 points. She's provided a huge spark, not only on the offensive side, but defensive side as well for the Blue Jays.
Bucata's got to be the story, not just for that first quarter, but all season long from Elmhurst. You could tell she was breaking out at the end of last year. She averaged 11.5 points per game in conference play, but this season has just been a completely different animal. How do you stop someone like Bucata?
I mean, it's hard, especially when she plays every minute, basically, of every game so far this season. The motor on both sides of the ball, I mean, you can't really stop her. The only thing you can really hope for is to slow her down, or if she has a bad night. It's tough to stop a player like that, though.
Elmhurst, one of its best runs of the season here this month of February. It started off with 2 consecutive losses, though only a 3-point loss to the conference champions Illinois Wesleyan. But 3 straight wins, a 20-point win against Milliken, a thrilling 1-point win at North Park last Saturday, and then taking down Carthage 75-68. You know how sports can be nowadays, Dawson. When you're playing your best ball at the right time, you could be dangerous in conference tournament play.
Absolutely. I mean, this team is looking very scary right now, playing their best basketball of the year, and they're showing it here this afternoon.
Barger out and running for Carroll. Sets up the open 3, Halverson. Misfires. Carroll still without a 3-pointer in this game. Gibson spinning and winning.
And just too easy from Gibson. You can't give her that much space. And then when she does get in the post, has so many tools in her bag to just get open.
She's got 8 now. Good clear by Talipi. She is everywhere on the boards after coming off the bench. Gibson again. Offensive foul on the transfer.
And she's got to be just a little bit careful now. That's going to be her 2nd personal.
Cameron Sucker had told me earlier this week she could change the game with her speed, but sometimes it can come back to bite them. She plays a little too fast, commits turnovers, commits fouls. Told me to watch out for those 2, and like you said, Dawson, she's probably going to have to sit for a while here in this second. So how will Elmhurst handle that their leading scorer today? Halverson down low for Gracious.
Yeah, and that's the matchup with Sierra Steamer in a little bit of foul trouble as well. that Grecius is going to take advantage of. It's a little bit of a mismatch with, the bench player that normally is Delipi playing in. You saw her take advantage of it right there.
Novak, pure.
And I don't know how they're leaving Lindsay Novak that wide open time and time again. Already her third three.
Offensive foul, the charge taken by Bakata. And the bench loves it.
Doing a great job just staying in front of her defender, not giving very much room. You saw the bench react. They're doing that all game, trying to hype up the starters on the floor.
You can just see the joy in this team, something that Cameron Tucker has established since coming in this summer. Brown in the low block. 8:10 to go here in this first half. Delipi held. Possession back with Carroll. That might have been their best defensive possession all afternoon.
Yeah, it really was. Just a little bit of a missed pass from Christian Bukata. I couldn't tell if that was, looked like that was for Hardy, but just a little off. Hit Delipi in the hands.
Lindsay Schultz, ninth-year head coach for Carroll, will have a smile on her face after that possession. Delipi cleans it up again. Just a huge presence down low in this contest.
Yeah, and give credit to Hardy as well. Came in and slapped that ball out. Hasn't played many minutes, Natalie Hardy, but doing a great job here coming off the bench.
Brown. That's the kind of shot that you deserve on senior day. Not the prettiest, but perfect from NC Brown.
Yeah, we'll see it right here. Great pass from Bukata into the post, and then great move around the corner. Toilet bowl all the way around, touched every inch, but went down. Elmhurst doing a great job here tonight, up 16.
How about these seniors so far? Novak, 3 triples. Brown perfect from the floor. Rowan Cusack filling up the stat sheet so far. Just overall exactly what you wanted from Elmhurst to open up these first 13 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing this a lot without Rowan Cusack. She's only played 3 minutes, does have those 2 personal fouls. Sierra Gibson, 2 personals. Sierra Steamer, 2 personals. So they're doing this with a lot of their starters on the bench in foul trouble. The bench players coming up huge right now. Delipi with 4 boards. Saw that turnover she just caused as well. Natalie Hardy with the turnover. Novak, you mentioned it, off the bench with those 9 points. Everyone's contributing right now for the Blue Jays.
How does this team limit fouls as this game goes on?
It's tough. I mean, you talked about what Coach Cameron Tucker said about Gibson just playing a little bit fast. I mean, we saw them do this against Carthage on Wednesday. Just got in a little bit of foul trouble. Did a better job down the stretch, but just have that basketball IQ, play a little bit smarter. You have a 16-point lead. You can start playing a little bit more conservative. Don't want to let off the gas too much. Let this, good Carroll offense back into the game, but just ease back a little bit.
Rangel, team's leading scorer this season. Rainbow pass down low. Grecius with 2 more.
That's the second time we've seen that from Grecius. Just get the position advantage on Delipi for the easy bucket.
She scored in double figures over her last 8 games and already has 9 in this first half. Delipi. Everything's going in right now from Elmhurst.
Yeah, they're shooting a great percentage as well. And there's a Carroll turnover on the travel, on the inbound. But Elmhurst shooting 60%. You said it, everything is falling.
15 of 25. They've hit 4 of their opening 7 3-point attempts. Crowd loving it here on senior day. Always a special day to come out, especially when you have 5 seniors being honored. And in a big game like this crowd is being treated to a brilliant Blue Jay first half.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue one of their best first halves of the year. I mean, this has been great, especially the implications at play. You need a win to guarantee your spot in the playoffs. Could potentially have a home game as well in the first round. This is a huge game, and these players are playing some of their best basketball.
Petalburg throws it away, saved by Grecius. She is everywhere offensively right now for Carroll. Loker for 3. Cash. Not their cleanest possession at all, but the Pioneers end it with a triple. How about that feed from Bukata? Her 4th assist of the first half, and they've all been gorgeous.
Yeah, they're doubling Bukata when she gets a drive, and they're leaving MC Brown wide open. That's like the second or third time we've seen that play.
Carroll has no answers right now defensively. And it's a Pioneers defense that's played very well of late. They just held North Park to 51, limited Augustana to 63 on their senior day. And they look shell-shocked right now. Everything they're trying is not working.
I mean, they're shooting pretty well, too, 53% from the field. You mentioned those games. They put up 103 points against Augustana, 97 against North Park. I mean, this is a pretty good first half, 25. Just haven't been able to outclass Elmhurst.
Wrangle into a double. Elmhurst trapping down low. Carroll keeping its composure. Gracious heading to the line.
That was good defense from Elmhurst. When you do those double teams, you want that pass to go to the same side. We'll see it here after the drive, the double team. Same side pass, but it's to Gracious, who so powerful, has a lot of skill with the ball in her hand, just found the corner on Delipi to get around her.
She's up to 12 points in 11 minutes with that free throw. I mean, it's just like you said, Dawson. They're 10 of 19 from the floor. They're now 6 of 7 from the line, and they're down by 13.
I mean, incredible first half. Just need to keep it going if you're Elmhurst on the offensive side. Don't let the pressure off. Let's Carroll back into it.
We'll see if they can establish momentum. Gracious can't hit. Her own board is off. Second offensive rebound on this possession. And it finally ends with Novak clearing. There's the power you were mentioning. 3 offensive rebounds on that possession.
Yes, just so skilled.
Brown draws the harm.
But they're attacking her a little bit as well on the defensive side. You saw it right there. I mean, going right at her with the screen, pick and roll to Brown. Committing that foul. That's going to be Gracious' second personal. She might take a seat on the bench for a little bit.
Halverson will come in for Gracious on cue. And MC Brown to the line. What a warrior she has been here for Elmhurst over her 4 years. Two-sport athlete, also participates for the women's lacrosse team. Her first 2 seasons of basketball, she won 6 games. And she's turned it around to help this team to its first winning season in 8 years. She's having a heck of a senior day so far.
Absolutely, and she started every game this year for the Blue Jays. She's one of the leaders of this team, having a great afternoon.
8 points in 6 minutes for MC Brown, 22 in white. She guards Pascal right now. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Novak running off the turnover. Count it! It's a first half of dreams for this Blue Jays offense.
And Lindsay Novak, I mean, great awareness to get that steal, drive through. Normally a three-point shooter, heading to the line after the great layup.
They're 61% from the floor in this first half. Their lead is 18. This does not look like a team that's playing for its postseason lives. It looks like a team that's going to make some noise in this postseason. Loker's off. Long rebound, Novak. Hardy fakes the long 2. Loses her footing. Bukata goes down. One-on-one in transition for Loker. Up against Novak. Goes through the contact and scores. Junior from Greendale, Wisconsin with the bucket for Carroll. Team that is 11-4 from Wisconsin this season. 10-4 in true road games, 1-0 in neutral site. Hardy. You can't leave her that open. A 40% three-point shooter cashes in on her first look.
This entire Elmhurst team just is on a heater in this first half, especially on senior night too. Love to see it.
They're 5 of 8 from beyond the arc in this opening half. Kratz to the other corner. No good on that triple try from Petalburg. Feels like anybody can go out there and get a bucket right now for Elmhurst. Hardy, right on cue. 50 points in 16 and a half minutes.
And you saw it right there. I mean, they're just picking apart this Carroll defense. Hardy with the pump fake, drove in the lane. Open shot, really buried it.
Elmhurst put up points a lot in non-conference play. They scored 90-plus twice, but Cameron Tucker told me their non-conference schedule was a little weaker than they had hoped for. Bukata! She's a woman possessed in this first half.
Wow.
52-29 with 2:51 to go in the first half. That is not a typo. This Elmhurst team simply cannot miss.
I mean, wow. What a game so far from this Blue Jays team. 4 for their last 4 on a 12-2 run. Already over 50 points. Wow.
Bukata is perfect from the floor, 9 points, and she's helped set up a lot more. She's got 6 assists already in this contest, which is just 2 off of her career high. And the Blue Jays will make a change on senior day and bring Alma Diaby into the game. A transfer from Merritt College. Has only played 3 times this season, but she'll get a run out with 2:51 to go in this first half.
Yeah, you love to see it. I mean, getting into the game because of this big lead. Gotta be careful though. You want to keep this lead as big as you can. This Carroll team can get hot. I mentioned earlier, but this is one of the best offensive teams in conference games in the season. First in points per game, first in field goal percentage. They know how to score through the Pioneers.
And they haven't done a half-bad job offensively in this half either. The scoreline doesn't reflect how Carroll's been offensively, as they missed their first shot out of that timeout from Loker. It's just been otherworldly from the Blue Jays. Salika Ely traveled. Was trying to show out on senior day. The entire Elmhurst bench, which is out of the shot right now, had risen to its feet.
The whole crowd, too, rose up. You heard him want that to go in after that great move. Just traveled a little bit.
Rangel cues up Loker. Fakes the 3, drives baseline. Rangel draws the double. She finds Halverson. Too strong. Carroll's now 1 of 5 from 3 in this first half. Bukata shows she is human. Her first miss all half. Something came off.
Bukata's glasses fell off after that one.
Is that the only way to stop her?
Blind her a little bit. I mean, me and you both got glasses on. Carroll's head coach getting a little upset after that one. They stopped play with Carroll in transition.
I mean, this is a first for me. When I talked to Cameron Tucker all the way back in November before I filled in on that Mount Mary game, he told me she's a gamer. She may not look like it, but just trust me. She had started this season with a career-high 27 points, and it just set the tempo for how good of a season it's been for Kristen Bukata, who now has her glasses back on and watches Rangel score. 90 seconds to go here in the first half.
Well, Cal, I'm glad you mentioned that Mount Mary game. That was the best home game in terms of points they played all year. They're threatening that record with you here again.
They had 94 back in November. Maybe it's me. I think I'm going to have to talk to Matthew Hoffey after this game and bring that up. Turnover off Diaby. You know Carroll's going to make some adjustments at halftime to try and get back into this game. What do you want to see from the Blue Jays to continue how good they've been offensively, Doss?
I mean, they're going to slow down a little bit in terms of what their average is. I mean, this is one of the best offensive performances they've put up in a half all year. But just keep going, keep grinding. I mean, obviously they have a great game plan in place on the offensive side, but on the defensive side as well. Elmhurst hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes, but they've prevented Carroll from coming back into this one. It's still a 21-point game. Carroll's shooting 41% from the floor. They've slowed down a little bit the last couple of minutes. It's been great to see.
Novak Fareely, senior to senior. 35 seconds to go in the opening half. Bukata rises up. Alligator armed it. Rebound fought for, won by Halverson. It's going to be the fourth foul of this second quarter against Elmhurst. An opportunity for Carroll to end this half with a bucket and have some momentum going into halftime. Two head coaches we're going to see in this conference for years to come. Cameron Tucker, 15-8 in his first season as the Blue Jays head coach. Lindsay Schultz in her 9th season, but her tenure was really split by two halves. She really had to rebuild this program in her first 4 years. Over the last 4 years, Carroll is 76-28. It's been one of the best turnarounds, not just in the CCIW, but in Division III overall.
Yeah, they had a great year this year, but when we talk about the turnaround from Coach Cameron Tucker as well, great to come in his first year and put up performances like this.
Bukata can hold for the last shot. Works onto her left. Tees up Lures. Too much on the three. Elmhurst closes the first half, not scoring in the last 3 minutes, but you wouldn't know it looking at that halftime score. It's a 21-point lead for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and they did a lot of that second half work without Cusack, without Steamer. You know, some of these starters on this team that have contributed all year sat out because of foul trouble, and they still put up 23 points in that second quarter.
We'll take a break. We're at the half at R.A. Faginal Hall. The Blue Jays all over Carroll.
After my undergrad here, I was working kind of locally with a couple former alumni in kind of a business setting, and so I was kind of interested by that. And then to get this degree was a huge opportunity for me and something that I just couldn't pass up. From the first class, a couple classes, you know, the instructors brought a lot of their personal experiences in. So it was a lot less of like, hey, let's just read the book, let's go over the text. It was more like what they brought to the table, what they've learned in their careers. And for me, that was huge because being in the small size class, you know, having an instructor that's going to be more engaging, it just made for a better overall experience. I was always looking for something that was going to be data driven. I was really interested in some of the storytelling that we did with the marketing class. So in my career currently, I'm an insights manager at a market research firm. Having the opportunity to specialize in something made it easier for me to narrow in on an industry. When I transitioned from the MBA program into my role now, I felt like I could take on things right away and hit the ground running. It's not only getting the degree and, you know, using it to elevate your career, but I learned a lot about myself as far as being challenged and stretched to be able to balance, you know, coaching and classwork and a job and, you know, relationships, you know, friends and family and things outside of that. that was so unique to me, and to anyone that's considering this, I mean, absolutely do it. Yes, it's going to be hard. Anything worth having is going to be hard, but you learn a lot about yourself by doing it.
When I graduated in 2020 with my undergrad, I knew I wanted to continue my education. It was a natural choice to come back to Elmhurst. I had grown to know and love the faculty, the students, the environment, the curriculum, the flexibility behind the MBA program. Since I didn't really have a specialization, I took that time to take entrepreneurial classes, marketing classes, to see which path I really wanted to take. And in doing so, that allowed me to kind of figure out what I wanted to do afterwards. An exciting thing that the MBA has enabled me to do, I have two different perspectives, one of my own obviously, but also from my profession. I do talent acquisition, so I'm able to review resumes and applications of people who have and do not have master's degrees or MBAs, so I know the real life implications of having an MBA. For myself, it just allowed me the opportunity to take that extra step in my education and help to understand which direction I wanted to go. If you're looking for an opportunity to connect with others, to build networks, this is a great opportunity to do that. There's a small class size. They focus on team building and projects revolved around that. So Elmhurst gives you that opportunity to, not only see what you're good at, maybe learn from others and see how they work and how they work with others and how you could maybe expand upon that. If it wasn't for Elmhurst, I don't know what I'd be doing right now.
My name is Ricky Franks. I'm a part of the Accelerated Master's Entry Nursing Program here at Elmhurst University. What drove me to choose Elmhurst is the flexibility of the program. With this accelerated program, you're allowed to start right after your bachelor's degree in any other field that you've been in. So after this, we'll have our MSNs, and then after that, if you want to pursue your career more and become a doctorate or a nurse practitioner, then you can just get your certificate. The best part that stands out to me of this program is just the relationships that I built over the time that I've been here and the opportunities and experiences I've had through clinicals. We've had all of the clinicals, so we have pediatrics, OB. It really just opens up the opportunity to experience. During those clinicals, you're able to really practice the skills that you're learning and just really facilitate that compassion to your patients. It really just made me decide that I really wanted to go into mental health. It really solidified that decision. Now I have been accepted to a post-certificate program for mental health, and I want to be a nurse practitioner after that, which is just underneath a year. I really want to advocate for patients, people who don't really have voices in those vulnerable populations. I really just want to make sure that they're heard and that they're cared for in the way that they should be.
My name is Danielle Corliss, and I am in Elmhurst University's online MENP program. I believe that nursing is a calling. If you have an interest in healthcare, this is a very diverse field to go into, and you have a lot of options on what areas you want to work. I'm really excited to be a clinical nurse leader because there is a strong possibility to improve patient outcomes and improving the conditions that nurses and other medical professionals work in. I really hope to impact the lower income or underserved communities. Coming from Kentucky, where I was an EMT, and then even in my clinicals here in the Chicagoland area, there are a lot of underserved communities and they don't have access to the proper health resources. And I feel like focusing on those lower income, underserved communities can really help the healthcare system in general, but can also improve the overall health in these populations. My favorite part of this program has definitely been the clinicals. So my big aha moment during this program was during my critical care rotation. I was at a Trauma 1 center in Chicagoland area, which was a very great experience. And working in the ICU and in the ED, that's when I really knew this is what I wanted to do. Listening to my classmates and my friends talk about their experiences in clinical has been a really exciting experience, just to hear that they're doing well and that they're having the experience that we all hoped for, and that we're able to put the knowledge that we've learned in class into the actual setting and into the real world with real patients. It's very exciting because we're almost at the finish line. It's a very proud moment for us.
Transformative education happens not just in classrooms, laboratories, and libraries.
Throughout the university's history, our gymnasiums and playing fields have been the sites of wins and losses, but also of lifelong friendships formed and lifetime lessons learned.
If I could send a message to the donors, I'd thank them for everything, because I do everything that I do on this court because of them. I'm able to use these facilities to the best of my ability, and I'm able to do well in sports and academics because of them.
The cohort model is actually really wonderful because you get to meet lots of different people from all different backgrounds, all different ages.
Everybody's unique in their own way, where we express our ideas and we learn different things from each other.
I didn't really kind of realize how helpful it was going to be, how much I would rely in my classmates.
We all are able to reach out to each other to help each other. Nobody's like left in the dark. We all learn together that way, and so it helps us all succeed together and makes us happier about each other's successes as we move on.
It actually has become a support system for me.
I had a few wonderful classes that gave me some real world experience.
One of my classes entailed going through a simulation. It makes you collaborate with other people in your cohort. And it just makes it more engaging.
I got a chance to have an internship. They liked me so much that they offered me a contract.
I was able to get an internship. It did help me find that that might not be the right path for me, but at least with a business administration degree from Elmhurst, it matches a lot of roles more than just one thing, so it's very versatile.
Being a military-friendly school was a big part of why I selected Elmhurst.
Military benefits actually helped me completely with my education, as I wouldn't have gone back to school if it hadn't been for the military benefits.
By being able to use the GI Bill at Elmhurst, I was able to really just focus on my education and doing well in the program versus having to worry about the financial aspects of paying for school.
It was seamless and easy to process. They also are part of the Yellow Ribbon program, which helped make up the difference for the cost that the GI Bill did not.
It was a first half in dreamland if you're an Elmhurst fan. Their most points in a first half all season long. They lead 52-31 over the Carroll Pioneers. Welcome back to RF Agnew Hall. Cal Freeman joined alongside Dawson Wells. Nothing else to it. 52 points in the first half. How did Elmhurst get it done?
I mean, it was a lot of threes. They hit 5 threes in the first half, did Elmhurst. I mean, this is a team that shot 26% in conference games from behind the arc, doing a great job there, finding a lot of offense and great defense as well, turning turnovers into points, 14 of those in that first half.
They've started to play some really good basketball here at home down the stretch. Blue Jays have scored 75 or more points at home in 3 of their last 4 home games. How has this offense grown throughout the season?
I mean, they've just been able to consistently find better and better shots, grinding off possessions. I mean, Lindsay Novak, the last couple of games, great job from her. She had 12 in that first half. And then in the paint as well, Elmhurst doing a great job as the season has progressed, and especially tonight, they've almost outscored Carroll from their own points in the paint. Elmhurst 28 points in the paint. Carroll completely in that first half, 31.
A lot of those touches inside have come from Kristen Buchanan passes. Leading scorer for Elmhurst on the season with 9 points on 4 of 6 in this first half and 6 assists. How does Carroll slow her down?
I mean, you can't really stop her, so you got to slow her down. I expect them to stop double teaming her on some of these pick and rolls like they did in that first half. But then if you do that, you leave her open for the shots that she's been passing up to find those open shooters. We'll see what Carroll does here.
And like you said in the first half, Dawson, Carroll didn't play a first half offensively that was that bad. They shot 40% in that first half. Natalie Grecius had 13 points. They were efficient at the line. What does this game come down to if you're Carroll? How do they get their way back into it? What's the first thing they have to do?
I mean, it's got to start with possession after possession. You can't get it all back in one go. You just got to keep grinding and grinding away, but it's been really tough, especially from the three-point line for Carroll against this Elmhurst defense. Only 1-3 for the Pioneers in that first. I expect them to start shooting that shot a little bit more.
First half numbers in depth. Carroll shoots 40% from the floor. Elmhurst 59%. Like you said, the Blue Jays very good from 3. They were 5 of 8. Just the one make from beyond the arc from Carroll. Leading scorer in the first half was Natalie Grecius from the Pioneers. She had 13 points on 4 of 10. The senior Lindsay Novak with 12 points on 4 of 9 and 3 triples, leading the way for the Blue Jays. As we were talking about in that first half, Elmhurst doesn't know where they will be come Tuesday when the CCIW tournament kicks off. But one thing's for certain, they still have to win this game if they're to make it to the CCIW tournament. What do you want to see from the Blue Jays to sure out a big win here today?
Just keep the foot on the gas. Don't let off. Finish this one out. You're probably not going to shoot like you did close to 60% in that first half, but just keep grinding off possessions and finish this one. Carroll, this team, I mean, they know where they're at. They're in the second seed firm. They don't have much to play for here except for pride. We'll see if they continue and try to put up a fight.
The Blue Jays open up this second stanza with Kristen Buchanan. 9 points for their leading scorer this season in the first half. Gibson charges off on the first shot of the second half. Great positioning down low by MC Brown to put the putback back up and draws the harm. Foul goes on Barger, which is her second. A couple players in foul trouble. Multiple players with 2 fouls. Nobody's gotten to 3 yet. Here's one of those players with 2, Sierra Steamer, 30 in white. Buchanan from 18. High board for Barger. Started this game well in that first quarter, quiet in the second. Wisner finds Barger. First possession of this second half for the Pioneers. Rangel. They have to get her going if they're going to climb this mountain.
Yeah, those are only her 6 points. She's the leading scorer for this team in conference games. Hasn't been very effective either. 3 for 6 from the floor.
And turned the ball over 4 times in that first half. Carroll committed 12 turnovers in the opening 20 minutes. Gibson rolls and rolls it in.
Yeah, you mentioned those turnovers from Carroll. In conference games, they average 14.8 turnovers already close to that number just from first half play.
Halverson for Rangel. Back-to-back buckets for her to open up the second half.
Yeah, they obviously told her at halftime just to drive and get to the hoop. That's the second time we've seen her do that and have a pretty open shot.
She celebrated Senior Day a week ago, and it was a special afternoon for her. How about that pass from Gibson? Brown's there again.
Great pass, saw the double team come and just found Brown. Brown's been, succeeding a lot from these double teams, leaving her wide open in the post.
Poked by Cusack, taken away by Gibson. Full speed ahead, down the lane.
And just look at the blow by on that. Just looked like she was going to be covered all the way to the hoop and then just blew by a defender wide open layup in the end.
She's just got afterburners on all the time, it feels like. How about that rainbow pass? Worked a lot in the first half, and Gracious can't capitalize that time.
There's defense from Steamer, who missed basically all that second quarter with foul trouble, affecting that shot.
Gibson on the controls. Tees up another senior in Cusack, who bounces it off. Senior to senior to senior on that possession, and free throws for MC Brown.
Yeah, and a lot of these seniors who were in foul trouble getting run here in the third quarter. Cusack, what a bounce pass to find Brown. She's having a game as well. 10 points, 3 rebounds, is going to head to the line.
Cameron Sucker talked to me about these seniors on Wednesday. Now, it's all players that he's inherited. But he said they've all been eager to win since I've come in the door. They've bought in and had great attitudes all season long, and it's led to Elmhurst's first winning season in 8 years.
Yeah,
and Brown makes the second.
A lot of room to grow as well with Bukata, Gibson, Steamer. This team's going to be fun to watch the next couple of years.
All 3 of their top scorers, Elmhurst, will be back next season. 2 more for Rangel. That's 6 points for her in this third quarter.
Yeah, they told her to get it going for sure.
6:55 to go in the third. Happy you're with us here on a Saturday afternoon. All the way across the court, Bukata flings it inside for Brown. How about the ball movement on this possession? One more pass. Steamer the offensive rebound, and it pays off.
What a pass from Gibson. Cross court to Bukata to break that double team. That's exactly what you want to do to break that kind of defense, is switch the side of the court.
Blocking foul on Gibson. I mean, that last possession was poetry in motion. Everybody got a touch on the basketball.
Yeah, it was great to see. I haven't really seen that much from the Elmhurst offense. It's a lot of sometimes give and go and let Gibson or Bukata drive to the hoop when you need a bucket, but great passing all around from them.
Tell you what, it's 24 makes from Elmhurst this afternoon, 14 of which have come off assists. There's a nice assist from Carroll. 3-pointer from Gracious. Novak tried to hit the transition 3 to responds. Squirms out of bounds back to the Pios.
That was a great possession from Carroll, but I mean, they haven't made a dent in this Elmhurst lead yet. Elmhurst, up until that last shot, was 4 of their last 5, now 4 of their last 6. They're doing a good job on the offensive side, and then defensively just holding with Carroll, making it tough for them to get back in this one.
4 minutes gone in this third quarter. And the Pioneers are now 5 of 6 in this frame. And like you said, they still have hardly cut into the deficit. It's a 19-point lead.
Elmhurst has found a response every time Carroll has scored so far. Need to keep doing it on this possession.
Cusack, transferred over from Linfield last year. Again, one-touch passing from the Blue Jays. It sets up Cusack. Long rebound, Novak. Eventually taken up the floor by Gracious with a full speed ahead. Double dribble from Rangel. Lindsey Schultz doesn't like the call. but it's going to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, 14th turnover now from Carroll. And, I mean, that was really started by Gracious. She knows how to score, but getting a little bit of turnover trouble here. Her and Rangel. Rangel with 6 turnovers now in this one.
Payos in a 2-3 zone. High-low touch for Bacana. I mean, that's textbook how you break down that zone.
Yeah, just having Bukata camp on the free throw line, finding her, and if they commit to her, she's going to pass it out. But if they don't, she's going to find the shot and bury it. That's her range.
Rangel's hot. That time she's not. Cusack the other way with it. Hardy all by herself. Talipi again amongst the trees for that rebound, but couldn't secure it on the tip. Rangel accelerates. Held up. Possession will remain with the Payos on the alternating arrow.
And Cusack, it seems like every single game she gets at least one tie-up. We saw her do that 2 or 3 times against Carthage the other night, just a ball hawk on the defensive end.
Whistle goes from the back judge, and a timeout taken. 4:24 to go here in this third quarter. That halftime deficit still holding up for the Blue Jays, leading by 21.
Yeah, and they're taking a lot of time when they get into their offensive sets, a little bit different from the first half where they were just running and gunning it. Now taking their time, slowing this game down, and you can do that when, you're up 21. Haven't scored as much, but have also stopped Carroll on the defensive end, made it tough for them too.
We were speculating at halftime, as all broadcasters do, about what this first round could look like in the CCIW tournament on Tuesday. Coming into today, Elmhurst was the 5, which would mean they're on the road against Wheaton. But a lot could change today. Anywhere from 3 to 8 could have changed this afternoon. Dawson, how are things looking around this conference today?
Well, Carthage right now playing at Milliken in Decatur. Carthage with a 14-point lead. Looks like they're going to come away out of that one with just over 3 minutes left to go in the third. Illinois Wesleyan, the top dogs, regular season champions, destroying Augustana at Augustana 42-28. And then the game to watch tonight, North Central at Wheaton.
Gracious is unconscious to open up this second half. She's got 19 today. It's been a great third quarter offensively for the Pioneers. They're 5 of 7. They just can't cut into this deficit. Hardy. Long rebound, Cusack. Bukata all by herself. That's a look you'd expect her to make. Instead, Rangel the other way. To a wide open Loker. Offensive rebound, Halverson. 2 more for the Pioneers.
Carroll starting to go on a little bit of a run here. You need a response if you're Elmhurst to just get back in this. You got the lead, but you want to stop this run, prevent runs from Carroll.
Still the 2-3 zone look from Lindsay Schultz's team. Hardy tees up Bacana. Off to the left. Pioneers have made 5 of their last 7 shots. Beautiful feed down low for Kratz. Can't connect. Has her own miss. Rangel. And 1.
That's a tough foul to give if you're Cusack. We'll see it right here. Offensive rebound goes Carroll's way. Ooh, that one could have gone either way on Cusack there. Maybe didn't just get there quite in time, half-second late. Trying to draw the charge, but Carroll now on a 7-0 run, 12-2 run as well in the last 3 minutes. Starting to fight back, chew away some of this Elmhurst lead.
Rangel now with 11 in this third quarter. And I believe the clock ran a few extra seconds after the and 1 occurred. I don't believe the clock stopped. Can't see it on the broadcast, but right now it reads 2:48. I think they're going to put some more time on this clock. So, Dawson, let me ask this. With Carroll taking some advantage back into this game, how does Elmhurst need to pull away and set this game aside for good?
Well, they found a little bit of advantage, Carroll did, with their zone that they've been running the last couple of minutes. Elmhurst was finding a little bit of success breaking it down. Need to go back to that, just have a little bit more success on the offensive side. But look back to what you did, especially in the first half against this Carroll offense defensively. I mean, you held them to a pretty good percentage. Just need to keep doing that, waste some of this clock, make this a messy game down the stretch, and you'll figure it out.
So they put 15 seconds back on the clock. There is now 3:03 to go here in this third quarter. From what I saw, I don't think somebody stopped the clock when Rangel hit the shot, so it kept winding while play was at a halt. So there's now 3:03 to go here in this third quarter. The Blue Jays lead has been cut from 21 to 13 in the blink of an eye. Who do you want to see take this next shot, Dawson?
Yeah, I find Bukata or Gibson driving to the hoop. Bukata's taking a couple of threes. That's not really her game. 24% free throw shooter in conference games this year. Get her to the hoop where she's most successful.
Taken away by Halverson. Has Locher all by herself. How about Gibson to get back? What a play by Sierra Gibson. She just saved 2 free points at the other end.
And there's the speed again from Gibby. Love to see that. Hustle play, saving points. Can get points offensively, can save points defensively. What a player to transfer in her first year here at Elmhurst.
And Lindsay Schultz, furious, immediately takes Locher out of the game and puts Barger back into the contest. That 2-3 zone still strong for Carroll. Blue Jays are 0 for their last 4. Now 0 for their last 5. Steamer's off. A sense of doubt has crept into the crowded Senior Day crowd right now. You can feel it. Rangel. She's been 5 of 6 in this second half. But she's off that time. Last touched by Gibson, but she's immediately appealing it's Halverson. We'll see it again.
Yeah, it's a close one either way. Going to stay with Carroll, but Gibson again just affecting play. This is a good defensive possession no matter what for Elmhurst.
Gracious changes that.
It was a good defensive possession, wasting clock, but then of course hits a 3.
16-2 run from the visitors has made this a contest again. Bukata. How about that difficult shot?
That's what you got to do. They've kind of went away from driving to the hoop, have the Blue Jays just keep doing that. It was very successful in the first half.
1:23 to go in this third quarter. Whistle down low. It's been a 9-point swing here for the Pioneers in this third quarter, 22-13. I believe they got the foul on Bukata as the shot went up, so it's Rangel to the line.
That's only her first personal, but Rowan Cusack, Sierra Gibson, all with 3 personals. Steamer has 2. She takes a seat for a little bit.
Up until this third quarter, Elmhurst had done as good of a job as possible on Olivia Rangel. She had 19 points the first time these two met, but was inefficient. She was 5 of 15. She only had 4 points in that first half. It's been one of her best third quarters of the season here today. That's 13 points for Olivia Rangel. All at a halftime. And Cameron Tucker asks for time. 30 seconds.
Yeah, Coach Cameron Tucker using one of his first timeouts of the afternoon. Stopping that run. I'm surprised he didn't call it a little bit sooner. Let Carroll go on that 13-2 run over the last 3 minutes. But Elmhurst, you still got a 10-point lead. Just need to go back to where you were successful in the first half, driving to the hoop. Have been a lot of outside shots recently. for the Blue Jays. Just need to keep going, get to the hoop, high efficiency shots where you were very good in the first half.
You saw that make from Buchanan from the free throw line a few moments ago. It's felt like the paint touches have not been as easy for Elmhurst in this second half. How do they get those looks inside, Dawson?
Yeah, I mean, they still have 10 points from the paint here in this third quarter. Just need to attack that a little bit more. They're wasting a little bit more clock, and then, you get to the end of the shot clock, got to throw one up late. Just have the good offensive possessions, drive to the hoop, get points on the board. It's still a 10-point lead with 1:10 to go here in the third quarter, but got to step on the gear a little bit. Carroll's hunting down that lead, hunting down that tie to get back in this one.
Blue Jays with 4 players in double figures today. Rangel and Grecius have combined for 39 of Carroll's 55. 1:05 to go here in this third quarter. Nifty dribbling by Bukata. Tees up Gibson. Splash!
Sierra Gibson 1 for 16 in conference games from the three-point line. What a massive shot.
How about assist number 7 today from Kristen Bukata? Carroll can't answer right back. Loker rims it in and out. A third quarter that hasn't gone Elmhurst's way, but they can close it on a high right now. 4-second difference between shot and game clock. Novak cuts. Too strong, trying to put it off glass. Rangel sends it off to the corner for Halverson. It's a 2, it's off. And Elmhurst keeps its double-digit lead going into the fourth. Not their cleanest third quarter, but they'll happily still take being up by 13, Dawson.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go back to that Sierra Gibson 3. Up until that point, 3 for 24 from the behind the arc. That's her 4th 3 made all year. I mean, to stop that Carroll run coming out of the timeout, I mean, that's a huge basket in this one at the end of the third quarter to extend this to a 13-point lead.
Looking at how Elmhurst played in that first half, they got a lot of good looks from 3. They were 5 of 8 in that opening 20 minutes, and it dried up in that third quarter. Definitely had an effect on the offense, but what do they need to do to see things out in the fourth offensively?
I mean, this team, unfortunately we have to say it, has blown some fourth quarter leads this year. Just keep going. I mean, you got a good 13-point lead right now. Just drive to the hoop, get your open shots. This team is tired. Carroll doesn't have much to play for other than pride, but they're putting on a good performance right now. Guarantee a spot in the playoffs right here. It's probably the most important quarter of the entire year for the Blue Jays.
Mabby brought that up. That's a big story about Elmhurst this season. They're 15-8. It's been their first winning season in 8 years. All that is good. It could be a lot better. They've lost 8 games this season. They've had fourth quarter leads in 6 of them, including when it lost at Carroll last month. Final 10 minutes of the CCIW regular season. Starts with Sierra Gibson attacking the paint and setting up DeLippe. High rebound, Halverson. What a third quarter it was for Olivia Rangel. She's nearly brought the team back all by herself and draws the reach-in foul. 13 points for Rangel on 5 of 7 in that third frame. How does Elmhurst slow her down?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, 3 of the leading scorers are in this one. 2 of them are on Carroll with Rangel and Grecius. It's tough to stop them. You kind of just got to prevent other players from getting on the board.
Wisner pulls up and banks it home. She's the 3rd leading scorer in this team, averages 12 points a game, but has been quiet this afternoon.
And that's who you got to target to stop, really, and they've done a great job so far limiting her points.
Entry pass to DeLippe. Blows the bunny. Carroll the other way with numbers. Rangel leaves it to the left. Put home by Casey Kratz.
These role players for Carroll starting to score a little bit too. Kratz, her first points of the game. Elmhurst need a response here quickly.
First time since the first quarter that Carroll is within single digits. It's been a game dominated by Elmhurst up until recently. Bukata, pure from 16.
That's who you need to take over if you're Elmhurst. Is Christian Bukata. Sierra Gibson, a little bit of foul trouble. She's on the floor with 3, but Christian Bukata needs to take over in this one. Finish this one out at home.
All alone Rangel. Booyah! She's on fire in this second half.
And Carroll starting to heat up from behind the arc as well. That's their 5th 3 of the game.
Who do you want to go to right now if you're Elmhurst?
I mean, either whoever has the ball right now, Gibson or Bukata.
Gibson scores. I got to get you down there. You've been on the money a couple of times today. So is Gracious. Keeps her composure with 3 players around her. Wisner, another 3 from Carroll.
It's going to come down to the line here at Elmhurst on senior night. Need these players to step up. Christian Bukata, Sierra Gibson, role players as well.
The Pios are 5 of 8 from 3 in this second half. Gibson can't connect. 7 minutes to go. Too many steps from Wisner.
Looked like she stepped out of bounds on
that was
far
right.
side. Just a mistake losing where you're at on the floor. Break for the Blue Jays. Carroll was getting going there.
16th turnover against Carroll today, which exceeds their season average. Blue Jays by 7 in an offensive explosion of a women's basketball game. Bukata. Gibson by herself. Yes!
She's feeling it from 3. Not really her game, but already 2 3-pointers in this second half for the Blue Jays. Doing everything she can.
What were you saying? It was 4 threes for her all year long?
Coming in tonight, she had 3 3-pointers the entire year. 3 for 24.
She's nearly tied that in the span of 5 minutes. 10-point lead for Elmhurst, 6 minutes to play. Cusack now. Alligator on that look. Halverson running. Sets up Wisner. High rebound, Gracious, and she'll get the harm by Steamer.
That's going to be Steamer's 3rd. Just got out of position a little bit on this rebound.
You got to give her a lot of credit, Steamer. She had 2 fouls in the first quarter, and that's her first foul since.
Yeah, she's done a great job just being careful, not drawing many fouls.
What a game from Natalie Gracious today. Make it 23 points, 7 rebounds. Leads all players in both of those metrics.
That free throw touched, I think, about every inch of the iron there and found its way through.
She's 7 of 7 from the free throw line. I made sure to say that after. Novak, kaboom! What a senior day performance from Lindsay Novak.
She slowed down a little bit here in the second half after a great first half. Big 3 from Lindsay Novak.
15 points, 12 of them off threes. Rangel again.
And just a little bit of a mismatch with Rangel there on Cusack. Just easy lay-in for her.
5 minutes to go in the regular season. A spot in the CCIW tournament on the line. Lindsay Novak, a flamethrower from 3.
Man, oh man, what a shot from Lindsay Novak in potentially her last home game as a Blue Jay. What a performance.
A last 2 home games she will remember for the rest of her life. 18 points on Wednesday and an upset win over Carthage. 18 this afternoon.
Foul there on Gibson. That's going to be her 4th foul. You see the 3 right here from Novak. Took a little bit of contact after the shot there. No call, but what a shot from the senior from Romeoville.
Elmhurst 50% from 3 this afternoon. It's why they've got this lead back out to double digits.
They needed it. 5 of their last 7 as well. A couple of threes. What a performance from everyone around. Just need to close it out here in the last 5.
An Elmhurst team that's really finding its offensive wheels in this latter half of the season. First 2 games of this month, they were held under 70. Since then, 80 points against Milliken, 67 against a very difficult North Park team to beat on the road, 75 against Carthage, and today against Carroll, 81 and counting. This team's got momentum going into the postseason,
they
to
really
say the
do,
least.
and they're heating up at the right time. You always want to play your best basketball at the end of the year. They're doing just that, capping it off with this performance, hoping to seal this one off for a win. Great atmosphere here on senior night as well, propelling these ladies hopefully to the last win of the year in the regular season.
4 players in double figures today for Elmhurst: Gibson, Bukata, Novak, and Brown. Steamer's on the cusp of it. Wisner's all by herself. Elmhurst just dodged a bullet.
Yeah, that's someone you don't want to leave open. Hit a 3 earlier, now 1 for 3 in this second half.
On the other side for Carroll, 2 of their players have combined for 46 points today. 4 minutes 15 to play. In front of an energized R.A. Fagnall Hall, which has brought the energy all day long. Bukata somehow gets to Novak. She was falling out of bounds. And it's back with the Pioneers.
Just looked like she clipped the sideline. Was very close before she got that shot up.
Halverson tried to roll. Loker's pass tipped up in the air, and they get the harm on the Blue Jays.
That's going to be Cusack's 4th foul as well. She's going to be a little bit in foul trouble. Got to be careful down the stretch here. She's a key defensive player for this Blue Jays team.
Wisner open again. Great off-ball setup. Can't hit the triple.
Novak getting her 6th rebound of the game. Not really a rebounder, but she leads the Blue Jays in that category.
Cusack up high. Quieter afternoon offensively for Rowan. Just 2 points back in the first quarter. Lobs it to Seamer. Makes the catch. Blows the bunny and the second. Carroll can run. They're 4-on-3 right now. Rangel. Just another difficult shot from her.
Yeah, and on the other side, you expect Steamer to make those types of shots. Had a wide open layup, just bricked it a little bit, but still got a 10-point lead if you're Elmhurst. Choose some of this clock as much as you can, but need points as well on these possessions.
Steamer trying to get it into Bacana. 2:55 to play. 9 seconds to shoot on this possession for the Blue Jays.
I mean, credit Carroll as well. They shot 58% here in this second half, making this a contest here late.
Hardy with 7. Palmed away by Rangel. Halverson.
Elmhurst need a score here. Haven't scored in just about 2.5 minutes.
ISO play for Brucato right now. 15 points, 7 of 12 from the floor. Blue Jays content with winding some time off the clock. Seven to shoot. Hardy. Around and out. High board Halverson. Poked free by Hardy, but regained by Carroll. 2:07 to play. No good from Kretz. High rebound, Steamer.
And one important rebound from Steamer as well. Giving possession back to Elmhurst. Still need a point here. Haven't scored in 3 minutes.
What do you want look-wise on this possession?
Got to get to the hoop. You've had success all game driving to the hoop, getting to the cylinder. Need that here from Brucato.
10 to shoot for Kristen. Whistle goes, offensive foul. That's her second.
That's the right call. Pushed off a little bit. Driving to the rim, but wasting a little bit too much clock for my liking on some of these possessions. You need to start getting some good shots if you're Elmhurst.
Gibson checks back in on 4 personal fouls. No more fouls to give for the Blue Jays. Rangel leaves it low for Grecius. Gets her on board. Scores again. 26 from Natalie Grecius.
This is just a good play off the screen. Pick and roll to Grecius. And then once she gets in the paint, just so physical, going up for those rebounds. She's got 8 rebounds in this one.
And that free throw ties her season high, 27 this afternoon for the junior forward from Oconomowoc. Fumbled forward, but it worked out for Cusack. 1:18 to play. 2-possession lead for the hosts.
Just gotta be good with the ball. That's the most important thing right now. Be careful, but need points as well on this possession.
Timeouts. No, I believe it was a timeout. My mistake, it looked like a 5 seconds. 5-second violation. The referee had pointed down to Cameron Tucker originally. I thought he was calling for time. He does still have 3 timeouts to use.
Yeah, he's letting this team play, just try to figure it out on their own here down the stretch. Carroll 7-0 run the last 2 minutes.
They've outscored the Blue Jays by 16 here in this second half, but will it be enough? Halverson for Rangel. Not too shabby of an afternoon for her as well. Under a minute to go. Grecius. Got it! 30 for Grecius. Timeout, Cameron Tucker.
Oh boy. I mean, Carroll, what a job they've done here in this second half. I mean, 58% shooting, but 50% from the three. I've hit 6 threes here in the second. 10-0 run the last 2.5 minutes to bring this within 2 down the stretch, under a minute left.
Grecius' previous season high was 27. She earned CCIW Player of the Week honors after Carroll took down number 12 Hope College back in November. And a statement like this might give her another CCIW Player of the Week award.
I mean, absolutely. She's been on fire. 4 from 4 from 3 as well. That's been the most impressive thing. Getting good looks at the rim, but also hitting it from range. I mean, those types of players are just too tough to guard.
This was a 21-point lead at halftime. Elmhurst led by as much as 24 in this second half. I don't know if the clock started. Did they take 10 seconds to get that up?
I thought they were over the line in plenty of time. I think she made a mistake there. It's going to stay with Elmhurst, but Elmhurst had a wide open shot.
They were 2-on-1 in the front court. They broke it down. Man, oh man, chaos here at Faggot Hall. After all that Blue Jay ball. Gibson back to Cusack. Novak! Short on a triple. Carroll can tie or take the lead. What do you look for right now?
If you're Carroll, you got to drive to the hoop, just tie it. You don't need a three.
Rangel, contested look, falls! We're tied at 81. A 24-point lead has evaporated in 16 minutes. And what a shot by the unanimous CCIW first team member last season.
Huge clutch shot. I mean, the two stars for Carroll have showed out in this second half. Rangel with 22, Grecius with 17 in the second half alone. They've done a great job just fighting back, tying this one. But Elmhurst, they have the chance for the last shot.
That age-old question, who gets the ball now?
Well, we had a similar scenario against Illinois Wesleyan here a couple of weeks ago. We saw Christian Bukata take that last shot. It was a three-pointer, they needed it. In this scenario, it's a tie game, you don't need a three. Need a two, just get to the hoop, put something up, and then play good defense if there's time left on the clock.
Novak to inbound, Bukana, Steamer, Gibson, and Cusack for the Blue Jays.
Most important thing, don't turn the ball over. Send this to overtime if you have to.
In the hands of Bukana. Carroll has 5 fouls to give, and they're not afraid to reach in more than once. 8.7 to go. Natalie Hardy will check back in place of Cusack. Bukata denied the ball. They get the foul on Halverson. Physical play on Sierra Gibson.
Very physical. I'm surprised they didn't look at that a little bit further. I mean, as soon as she caught the ball, she got shoved out of bounds.
Bukana with the basketball. And she's held as she was driving in. Elmhurst wants it shooting. I believe it's on the floor.
Very tough call there. I mean, this when you have this many fouls to give, this is smart play from Carroll, not allowing them to get any chance for a shot. Smart play.
That's good coaching from Lindsay Schultz in her 9th season. And now Elmhurst will take time. They had 16 seconds, or a little more than that, at the start of this possession. It's now down to 1.6. This is that last look.
Yeah, that's on the floor, on the run. Good call from the referee.
I understand where Elmhurst's minds are in that moment. You want the shooting foul. You want the chance to take the lead from the line. That is the right call. That's great refereeing.
Absolutely. That's a great call. I mean, for the most part, it's been good refereeing all game, I would say. It normally is here in the CCIW. Rarely see many mistakes. I mean, but mistakes are going to happen. These refs are human. Mistakes happen. Got to give credit to these referees coming out here. Definitely a hostile environment, night in and night out.
A senior day that started in dreamland for Elmhurst has been a nightmare second half. But an opportunity for the win here. Gibson catches. Overtime in R.A. Fagnall Hall. What a spirited comeback from the Carroll Pioneers. Trailed by as much as 24 in this second half. And Gibson agonizingly close.
Yeah, very close. That's the person you want to go to. Did have a lot of contact, but no call. We're going to OT here on the last day of the regular season.
I believe this is the first time all year Elmhurst has gone to overtime.
I believe so as well. So a little bit inexperienced there.
You know, you said it at the start of this quarter. Elmhurst has had trouble with fourth quarter leads all season long. They're 15-8 this season, but when I talked to Cameron Tucker on Wednesday, he told me that it really could be a 20-win season if not for some of these fourth quarter struggles. They've lost 6 of their 8 games after having a fourth quarter lead. It happened once against Carroll already. It could happen again today.
A lot of those also, have been on the road. This one at home, Elmhurst has played very well here at R.A. Fagnall Hall, 10-2. You hate to blow that big lead, but it's time to lock in here in overtime. 5 minutes to go.
You just got to give so much credit to Carroll. That is a phenomenal second half effort. You're down by 21 at the break. You can't make a stop anywhere throughout that first half. And they find a way to hold the Blue Jays to just 29 points and only 13 in the fourth quarter, which means we play 5 more. Final day of the regular season. CCIW is not done with this 2024-2025 campaign. Steamer and Gracious for the tip. Pio's ball to start off OT. All by herself, Barker. Too strong. Bukata hits the deck.
Good effort there from Christian Bukata, grabbing that rebound. Physical rebound, too. Good box out and then drawing the contact as well.
That's her second on Rangel. Only player on the floor that's in foul trouble right now is Gibson, 14 for Elmhurst, who has 4 personal fouls. Lindsay Novak on what could be her final home game at R.A. Fagnall Hall. Bukata with 10. Down low for Brown. 13 points on her senior day.
Good hand strength to stay with that one after catching it, and a great spin. Found herself wide open. Good effort from Brown.
Gracious, 30 points this afternoon. Can't make it 32. Stripped back by Gibson. She hit the floor hard. It's staying with the Pios.
Great defense from Elmhurst on Gracious. Gibson then stripped it away. A lot of contact that one, but let him play.
Emily Wisner checks back in. Had 19 at this building last season. Quiet this afternoon. Got to get it in fast. Rangel with 13. 1 minute played in overtime. Blue Jays the only bucket so far. Gracious. Too strong. Scrums for the rebounds. Forced Novak away and takes her third personal.
Good hustle from Lindsay Novak. We'll see it here. Just hustle, got it herself into position.
Fouls carry over from the fourth quarter. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way. Novak, an 85% free throw shooter. 17 for 20 coming into this afternoon.
This is where that late fourth quarter defense from Carroll kind of comes back to bite them a little bit. I believe it was 3 or 4 fouls in the last 15 seconds. Now it gives Elmhurst, pushes them into the bonus.
That's a great point. They didn't have a single foul before that last possession of regulation. They used 3 of them. And then those 2 fouls here in overtime mean it's free throws the rest of the way for both teams. 3:40 to go in the first overtime. Carroll scoreless so far in this extra period. Rangel into a double. Forced it up and is off. Halverson flashed to the rim and Rangel never saw her. Man-to-man set up from the Pios defensively. Bukata trying to get free down low. Out to the top with 5. Behind her back to the free throw line. Rowan Cusack. Missed it as the shot clock expired. Halverson wheels away. Under 3 minutes to go in overtime. Gracious to the line. That's 4 on Steamer.
Steamer's been known to block the ball, leads the CCIW in blocks. Almost got another one right there. Just a little too much contact.
What a game. What a game we have had here today.
Yeah, it's been a story of 2 halves, really. Elmhurst dominated the first half. Carroll came out, dominated the second. Now they're battling it out in overtime as Gracious misses her first free throw of the afternoon.
She was 8 of 8 before that last miss. Now 9 of 10. Back to a 1-possession lead for the Blue Jays. Bukata with 3 ahead of her. Important deflection by Gracious.
Credit to Rowan Cusack there, breaking that press with a pinpoint perfect pass to Bukata over the defender.
Right side screen set by Steamer. Back to Sierra Steamer. Pick and roll to perfection. 2.5 to go in overtime. Bukata now with a double-double, 15 points, 11 assists, which is a new career high. Gracious with the foul.
That's on Gibson too, she's gonna foul out.
One more look at it. What a pretty pass by Olivia Rangel. Gibson Dunn, 20 points this afternoon on 8 of 14 shooting.
This is who you don't want at the line with the Blue Jays. 9 of 10, did just miss their first one, but very good free throw shooter.
Stays at 33 this afternoon. 2:10 to play in a riveting, ruckus, wild affair. Bukata's pass tipped, taken away by Barker. Cusack back. Offensive foul. How about the effort from Rowan Cusack?
She's on 4 personal fouls as well. What a smart play. Beat the play there. Great basketball IQ from the senior to get there in time. Set her feet. Wow.
That is a senior who has not scored since the first quarter, putting her body on the line. Travel on Cusack. Perfect trap from the Pioneers.
Yeah, it really was. Just didn't let her go anywhere.
And Cameron Tucker livid immediately pointed at MC Brown, wants his senior back into the game. With 1:48 to play, Pioneers can tie with this shot from Gracious. Oh my goodness, it's in. Wow. Every part of the rim.
Wow.
It's just the afternoon we've had. Steamer's gonna head to the line now.
Oh, what else is this game gonna deliver? Wow. I mean, what a shot from Gracious. She's 5 of 6 from the three-point line here tonight. Jeez.
I hope that question was rhetorical, because I don't have an answer for you. Steamer has Elmhurst back in front. 5th Blue Jay in double figures this afternoon for the transfer from Antelope Valley in California. 92 seconds to go in overtime. Gracious into a double. Foul before the shot went up. And it's on Cusack, and she is done.
And she made a great first play here, knocking the ball loose and then just fighting for it, just ended up drawing the foul.
So Elmhurst is now down 2 of its point guards and is going to have to go to Maya Lewis, who has hardly played this afternoon. Gracious has been incredible. Career high 37 points, 5 of 6 from 3. Lane violation. How often do you see that?
Well, I guess that answered the question, what else is this game going to have? When do you ever see a lane violation?
I'm not entirely sure who they called it on, but this is huge. Referees have come over to talk this one over. I don't have the officials on our stat sheet. Call, by the looks of it, confirmed. Lindsay Schultz wants explanations. Fans here, at least the Blue Jays fans, want this game to start up again. Full court press here from the Pioneers, down 1. Four seconds off the clock there. 1:14 to go.
You have Lindsay Novak on that far side. Good find from Bukata.
Great eyes, Dawson. In the hands of Bukata, Elmhurst content to let the clock wind. 1 minute to go in overtime. Elmhurst by 1. Kristen Bukata. A shot she's made all season long. She delivers in the biggest possible moment.
Clutch from Kristen Bukata, leading scorer of this team all season long. Wow.
17 for the sophomore.
I mean, who else do you want if you're the Blue Jays? Sierra Gibson on the bench in foul trouble. She fouled out of this one. You look to your leaders. Kristen Bukata is one of those players, only as a sophomore. She got the job done.
Off on the free throw. Lewis was in for the rebound, poked it up in the air, but bounces back to Carroll. Still a 1-possession lead.
No threes if you're Elmhurst. Got to guard the line extremely hard.
Rangel to the lane, amongst the trees. Offensive foul! How many pivotal charges have Elmhurst drawn today?
Natalie Hardy, too, bench player all year, has played a pretty key role, mainly a three-point shooter, coming in to play defense. Looked like she was rotating over, saw the driver late, stepped back, set her feet. Wow. I mean, the role players for this team have come up huge in this one. Elmhurst with 27 bench points in this one.
A game that has just had everything to it. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, lane violations you never see. I mean, a 24-point comeback in the second half. Wow.
Just incredible today. From two teams that truly deserve to be playing postseason basketball. You saw it in the first half from Elmhurst. You saw it in the second half from Carroll. You're seeing it from both teams here in overtime. These are two teams that are going to give Illinois Wesleyan a tough run in the CCIW tournament if they play them.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen Elmhurst give them a run for their money. Carroll has, fought with Illinois Wesleyan a little bit at Illinois Wesleyan a couple weeks ago, only lost by 6. Before that, only a 9-point loss. I mean, that's a Titans team that all season has been blowing people out. So if you can fight with them, you're in a pretty good spot. And I mean, you never know once you get into conference tournaments what can happen. Any team can win on any day here in the CCIW. It's so competitive.
5 of Carroll's 7 losses this season have come against the top 25. That's how difficult it has been to beat this Pioneers team. And even in this game, even when Elmhurst had everything in the third quarter going their way, the Pioneers found a way to fight back. 41.8 to play in overtime. Inbound to Ravizzi. Hasn't played the entire second half. Has to check in with 2 players fouling out in overtime.
That's exactly who you want again in this situation if you're Elmhurst.
Kristen Bacana. On to her left. Teardrop. Just around and out. Ravizzi the offensive rebound. What a huge play in this game by Jacqueline Ravizzi. She's played 8 minutes all game. Hasn't taken a shot and was just the most important player on the most important possession of this contest.
I mean, that's just a smart athletic rebound there from Ravizzi. I mean, what a clutch rebound. Only a freshman, too, from Alabama, coming in huge for the Blue Jays.
Jacqueline Ravizzi led it all 4 years in basketball at Shades Valley High in Birmingham. Averages just 2 points per game, mostly fills in during blowouts. Just put herself in the perfect spot to break a very good Carroll full court press, which has gotten Elmhurst a few times in overtime, and then was in the exact spot her team needed her to be on the Bacana miss.
Huge clutch plays down the stretch. I mean, those are types of plays that win you ball games. You saw it right there. Elmhurst now with a 3-point lead. Shot clock turned off too, in prime position, but gotta play well on the defensive side if you don't come up with any points here.
And if you go back and look at the box score after this game, you will think nothing of her game. But she has just made 2 of the biggest plays we've seen all afternoon in a game that has featured so many of them. From how this game started with Sierra Gibson and Lindsay Novak just being unconscious from 3. Then one of which fouling out in overtime. Natalie Gracious' 3-pointer, which hit off, I believe, 3 parts of the rim to tie the ball game, leading to a lane violation. Kristen Bacana's had 1. It has just been a phenomenal senior day. A brilliantly played basketball game. There's nothing else to describe it. One of the best games that I've ever called.
Yeah, and that 3-pointer, they bounced all the way up to where the shot clock was. But I mean, what a game, especially to close out a great season, one of the best seasons in Elmhurst school history the last couple of years. Just need to finish the job here with Bukata hitting these free throws and then playing good defense after.
So there's 13 seconds left in overtime. Both teams with 1 timeout. Referee confirming everything with Pioneers head coach Lindsay Schultz. Apparently not everything. This is normally the time in a broadcast where I'd like to preview what's coming up next and talk about the team that Elmhurst is playing next, but we don't know that. Elmhurst has to win this game to make it into the CCIW tournament. Entering today, they had one of the last 2 spots in. The way the conference tournament works, if you're unfamiliar, the top 2 teams in the conference clinch first-round byes. The 3 seed hosts the number 6, the 4 seed hosts the number 5, and the bottom 3 teams are out. Elmhurst came into today number 5 at 7-8 in conference play. 1 game back of 3rd place, 1 game in front of 8th place. As it stands right now, the Blue Jays will be playing postseason basketball on Tuesday. Carroll has clinched their spot. They are the second team in the CCIW. Referee's talking things over at the scoreboard right now. Carroll's in. Elmhurst, with another 13 seconds, will be in. Now, is this a look at the qualification of the foul? It was a personal on the floor.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the foul was or who it was on. I mean, I don't know why else you would look at the replay of what the foul.
Bucata was trying to dribble the ball out from what I remember after the Ravisi offensive rebound, which was probably 5 minutes ago and feels like much longer ago than that.
Yeah.
All right, Bucata at the line, Blue Jays by 3. Both teams with 1 timeout. 2-possession lead.
I mean, just that first one is a huge free throw, puts it to a 4-point game.
5 points. And now Lindsey Schultz decides to take the timeout to advance the ball.
That's going to be Carroll's last timeout as well, so can't stop the game the rest of the way. But if you're Elmhurst, got to play solid defense. Just don't let them. I mean, a 3 is a killer. A 2 you can live with for sure on this inbound. Can't let them hit a 3.
Either way, Carroll has to score on this possession and either foul or force a turnover, which their full court press has been good in this overtime.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, sorry, Dawson, Elmhurst's 2 leading guards have fouled out of this game.
Yeah, you're all good. And you were talking about that Carroll full court press. I mean, been incredible, really. If they force multiple turnovers, you said the foul trouble, but I mean, Ravisi has come in, broken that. Bucata has found some great passes on the inbounds to Lindsey Novak on one of those. They have the players that can break the press. You wish you'd have a Sierra Gibson who's no longer in the game because of those fouls, but you have the players to break the press. But before all of that, play good defense on this possession.
Since they started pressing, which was in the 4th quarter, they forced 6 turnovers. Well, that's for nothing right now. Carroll needs a bucket on this possession. Do you look for the 3 first?
I mean, no matter what, you need points. I think they do. That's the harder shot to get, but they've been very good so far in this game.
Rangel goes across the court. It's Wisner. It's off the top of the backboard. It's brought in by Rangel, who's off. Steamer the rebound. Elmhurst is going dancing. Cameron Tucker's team secures a spot in the CCIW tournament, and look at what it means to the Elmhurst Blue Jays.
What a game, what an effort, and what a way to hold on here in the second half from this Elmhurst team after they blew a 24-point lead. To win it in overtime, huge, huge win for Elmhurst.
We'll be right back with Elmhurst head coach Cameron Tucker. Blue Jays win it by 5.
Welcome back to R.A. Fagnall Hall. Dawson Wells with you after a great Elmhurst win, 93-88 in overtime. This was a big win for the Blue Jays. Christian Bucata came up clutch down the stretch, putting up 19 points, some clutch 3 throws and layups as well. Huge, huge game for Elmhurst to clinch their spot in the CCIW tournament. One of their best seasons in the last couple of years. Just waiting for Coach Cameron Tucker to come back up here. This is a Elmhurst team that had a 24-point lead in the first half, played the best first half they've ever played this year. Was able to come down the stretch and get it. Coach Cameron Tucker joins us now after the big win to secure your spot in the postseason.
Yeah.
First off, what does that mean for your team? I saw them rush the floor after that win.
Yeah, there's a lot of getting over hurdles this year, and our theme all year, and we say it every time we break a huddle, is rise, and because we're a team on the rise. And so I think they've seen that come to fruition. Second time through conference, I mean, we had a close game with Wheaton and a 3-point loss here to Illinois Wesleyan. So second time through conference, we've taken care of business when we needed to. I'm really proud of this group, and we had a lot of people fighting through being tired today. I don't think I saw Bukata out, so she played 45. And now there's a chance we might even be able to host. So, I'm just really proud of this group.
Yeah, you had one of your best first halves all season.
Yeah.
First off, just coming out of the ceremonies of the pregame, the senior day, to come out like that, what does that mean for your team?
Yeah, they were amped all day, and we were constantly talking about playing for them. Down there in the stretch, we had Alma, who probably hasn't played in the last 10 games, and I had her in on defense because Gibby was out with fouls and Rowan was out with fouls. So it was nice for them to, our seniors to contribute in every way. Sika played a little bit there in the first half, so I was glad we were able to play them, and they play at a high level.
Yeah. Obviously not the way you wanted that second half to go, obviously. Yeah. But coming back in overtime, I mean, Ravisi, who played 8 minutes, had that clutch, breaking the press and then getting the offensive rebound. What does she mean coming off the bench, basically not playing the entire game, being ready?
Yeah, and honestly, she's coming back. She's played, 2 games now? North Park might have been her first one back because she had that wrist injury. So she's going to be an important piece as we move forward next year as well. So it's nice to get her back after that injury. She is a freak athlete, and it's nice to have someone with that speed out there. We just need her to probably calm down a little bit with the ball. But, yeah, big contributions from everybody. And down the stretch, I don't know that anybody was making, major mistakes. We might have been something, where it was a small one, but we really executed down the stretch and got some major shots. I know we went into overtime, but Novak's 2 threes there at the end of the fourth were enormous for us. So that's a really good team. I knew we weren't 21 points better than them in a half, so I knew they'd come back. Our team, when you're trying to break through those barriers, it's hard to do, and they're going to come back, and you've got to really earn it because no one's going to give it to you.
Great regular season, Coach. One more question for you. Heading into the postseason, what are you looking forward to? Potentially even hosting a home playoff game.
And that's the thing. Anything can happen in the tournament. We said we've just got to be there for the magic to happen. And so right now, who knows with how – when we went into today, we could have tied for third or we could have been out in 8th place. So getting that win, putting us securely in, we don't have to worry about tonight with North Central and Wheaton what happens. It'll matter for maybe where we host or not, but it was really, really nice to be able to go back and say, okay, we did the work to get in. We don't have to get lucky tonight. We're securely in.
Well, thank you, Coach. Congrats on the great regular season.
Thank you.
Good luck in the playoffs. For Dawson Wells and Kale for our Elmhurst win 93-88 here at R.A. Fagnall Hall to clinch their spot in the CCI tournament.